With the launch of version 2.7, a lot of us got an extra one of these golden companion spirits, and you might be wondering to yourself, should I pick up Topaz, Ron May, or Luocha? Today I'm going to be talking about their overall value, their E1s, and then the teams they work in, and then should you pull for this character or not. My name is AJ, and let's get right into it. So, we got Topaz in this shop as of version 3.7. In my personal opinion, I think that Topaz is a pretty cool character. I personally like just like her design and the fact that she's an IPC character. But with all that set aside, what is her overall value? I think her overall value is kind of middle of the pack, if I'm going to be honest. I own her at E1S1 on another account, and I'm just going to be real. I probably use Hunt March 7th more than her, just because Hunt March 7th can be like a colorless character where she can basically, whoever she shifus, she can use their weakness, so that gives her a little bit more versatility. We also have characters like Cypher and stuff like that that basically do the same type of thing that she does, which is a sub DPS role. So in my personal opinion, I think that Topaz is a lot lower value. She is still pretty solid. I think if you happen to get like maybe her E1 or her E2, and if you happen to have her signature light cone, then she is pretty good. This E1 just basically gives you 25 crit damage on follow-up attacks, which is pretty good. This is also pretty solid as well. If you're running her with like Dr. Ratio, God forbid. I mean, Dr. Ratio, my favorite character is trash, but yeah, this will be great for Dr. Ratio, and then for Facial, kind of okay. Honestly, I'd use Hunt March. So her overall value is probably like a 6 out of 10. She works in follow-up attack teams, so if you own like Facial or Dr. Ratio, like I mentioned before, with like Adventurine, and you have like Robin or Tribby or one of those characters, she can work in those teams, but you have the free version of Hunt March 7th, and I just think that Hunt March 7th is just a lot better. The other thing that I want to mention is the light cones. Her light cone is really, really good. It makes her more of a complete character, especially if you play her Dr. Ratio. With Facial, not so much. You can kind of get away with cruising in the Stellar Sea. So that's why I gave her value like a 6 out of 10, because her signature light cone is really good. And not saying that swordplay isn't really good, but I just think that her overall value compared to the characters we get for free is not as high. So me personally, I would not pick up Topaz unless if you just really like the character, which I mean, I picked her up because, you know, I like the design. Anyways, moving on, we're going to talk about Luocha next, and we're going to talk about Ron May last. Luocha, I think this character is honestly a pretty just solid character. He's not like terrible, he's also not like insanely good. For a sustainer, obviously he's no Gallagher or even Adventurine, but he is better than characters like Fu Xuan and Lynx, Bailu Japard, even the free characters that you get like March, the Preservation Path, and Natasha. So honestly, I'd say he's pretty solid. On Pride One's tier list, they have him at tier 1. I think that's pretty fair. There's a lot of the new sets that you can put on him as well, so his value has kind of gone up over time. You can use either his signature light cone or perfect timing, which is basically you want his effect res to be super high so he doesn't get CC'd. But compared to the newer healers, I don't think he's as good. You can use the new healer set that is that you would use on Hyacin on him, which is also really good, because even though, yeah, sure, you don't have a Memo Sprite, he does get the healing, the continuous healing, which gives a crit damage buff, which is also pretty good. So I think his value is pretty up there. I think a lot of people probably have Archer on their account because he's free. Let me know down in the comment section below if you can still get Archer for free at this point. I don't know if that's the case, but if you do, then Luocha's pretty good for an Archer team. We also got Don Hung PT for free as well, so those are two basically sustains that you don't need to pull for on your account. So that is really good, especially when you have two teams. So I think Luocha's value is a lot higher than, for example, a character like Topaz. His E1, it's okay. I mean, when he uses his field, when he like stabs his sword down and applies the healing field, whenever teammates attack, he also gives a 20% attack to all allies. So this can work pretty well with, DPS characters like Archer and stuff like that. So I think his value is pretty good. He's also pretty skill point friendly. So as long as you run like an ER rope on him, I think you'll be just fine. And then Broken Keel as well. It gives him basic effect res, so that's also good, and then more crit damage for the team. So I think overall Luocha's value is pretty good. If you were to pull for him, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. I just think that if you own characters like Hyacinth or basically any other sustain, like Gallagher, or if you own even Scooby-Doo or Huohuo or Linksha, like a lot of these other characters are better, but if you don't own them and you're just starting the game, then Luocha's pretty good. So that's my personal opinion. If you're playing, even if you own Casters, he's pretty good. So he has a lot of value. I just don't think he's the greatest character, but he is still pretty valuable. Ruaname is the last character I want to talk about. The reason why I want to mention just like their values as well, actually let me give him a rating. I would give him maybe like an 8 out of 10 if you're a new player. If you're not a new player, you have a bunch of sustains, and I think his value goes down a lot, like a 6 out of 10. But I think if you don't own any other sustains, I think his value is pretty high. Ruaname is one of those characters where when I created one of my other accounts, her value was like insanely high. I also have her signature light cone, so that changes the way that the character feels as well. But I still do think that Ruaname is a pretty solid character. I think picking between Ruaname and Luocha is the hardest one, because either you pick a sustain and he will kind of carry you through most of the end game, because sustains will keep your team alive. Not saying that Ruaname can't do that, not saying that she's not broken. The character is still very strong. I mean, even on Pridewind's tier list, they still have her in tier 0.5, which is nothing to scoff at. She's a disgusting sustain, or like a harmony character, so she's very good. Her Eidolons, I honestly think this is like one of the best ones out of the characters. She has her ult up, she basically ignores all allies, ignore 20% of enemy defenses, which is like pretty insane. So her E1's pretty good. Her free-to-play light cone that you can use, I believe, is it's the one that has Cocolia on it. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm gonna actually pull it up. It is Memories of the Past. That one is pretty good. I believe there's a Battle Pass one maybe that might be good with her, but Memories of the Past is pretty good. You can also use Meshing Cogs as well, but I would just recommend Memories of the Past. If you happen to have her Sig, then that's also good. Her value, I would say, is probably a 9 out of 10 or maybe a 10 out of 10 as far as for overall value. She works primarily in Super Break teams now. When we first got her, we didn't know that, but she pretty much works in Super Break teams. I'm just gonna be real, Super Break teams aren't the greatest. On my other account that I have like a Super Break team, and sure, even her at E1 with her signature light cone, I just don't think that she gives that oomph to kind of push that team over the edge. So we'll see. Honestly, I would say if you can hold on to this, I would hold on to your little selector just to see what 4.0 kind of brings, because I do think that her value is pretty good. Even the next patch, just to see like how valuable she becomes. So I would just hold on to this because she is kind of like a key component to Super Break teams. But yeah, I think that she's a very strong character. I mean, like a lot of her traces, like she gives break efficiency, extra energy. I mean, even this thing is really good technique when you're in the simulated universe. This is also very strong as well. So I think overall, like some of this stuff, like this will give you, I believe it's 10 speed at max. So yeah, this is pretty insane. So this is pretty good just for like making your teams faster and stuff like that. I think her value is pretty good. And it's kind of hard because I think these two characters are super valuable. If you have two of these, then I would pick up both, or maybe just one. If you already have a healer, then if you have two of these things, then I would actually pick up Ruanmei, just because I think her just overall value is really good. If you have one of these, I would honestly just wait and see kind of where the game goes and what you actually need on your account. And which teams can kind of get by, because I'm just going to be honest, Luocha, he is a lot lower value because of the fact that as you continue to play the game more, you're probably going to pick up a sustain that's going to be better than Luocha that works in a specific team. And Luocha, I think, is more of a generalist healer. And so I think he's a little bit easier to replace. Ruanmei, not so much. If you like Super Break teams and more Super Break teams come out in the future, then I think her value starts to get higher as more Super Break teams start being filled out more. So right now we just have like Boot Hill, we have Firefly, and then we have Rappa. Those characters are like the main three DPS characters that are Super Break, but we don't have any other ones, and we haven't had any ones in the future or currently, so we don't know what the future holds. Maybe in 4.0 we'll get like 3 Super Break DPS characters or something like that, or Super Break will make a resurgence, and then picking up a Ruanmei could be really valuable for your account. So if you're still on the fence, I would say do not get Topaz. Luocha maybe, Ruanmei yes. My question for you guys is, because I haven't spent mine and this is my free-to-play account, who do you guys think I should get on this account? These are the characters that I'm using currently. I honestly sometimes don't even use Natasha. Because my Nax is so good. But yeah, who should I pull for on this account? Let me know down in the comment section below. The special word for today's video is going to be golden ticket. That's going to be the secret word of the day. So if you made it to this point in the video, the secret word is golden ticket. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.